Hi guys. So for my final paper, I did my research paper on, or my research question was, how do age groups differentiate when it comes to COVID-19 vaccinations? So I really just wanted to try and cover how they variate when it comes to reasons why they're vaccinated or why they're choosing not to get vaccinated, as well as the need for each age group to get vaccinated and the kind of just percentages and rates of each group. So I broke my paper up into three parts, with each part covering a different age group. I started with children, then transitioned into young adults, and then for the third part, it is late life. So in this presentation, we will start with children. Um, so the need for children to get vaccinated is kind of a big debate because there's pros and cons of children getting vaccinated. One of the pros is that since children are such high contact, they tend to spread the virus a lot more readily, which is why the need for children to get vaccinated was being kind of reported. But there's also issues with things like vaccination shortages and the ability to get vaccinations out to children with other age groups and kind of higher priority people. Um, so they're usually, when children get the virus, they don't get sick, but there are rare circumstances where um, they do get severely sick, and it's but it's a very rare thing. Research kind of showed that ages 9 and younger don't really need to get vaccinated as much, but it's recommended that in order to get like mass immunity, ages 10 through 18 need to be vaccinated. And a lot of the reasons why children don't get vaccinated is kind of like media and Facebook putting out false informations about vaccinations and stuff. And parents read those and they kind of take that into their own kind of accounts. Um, so there's kind of with children in that state, obviously, they don't have a choice to get vaccinated. It's up to the parents. So it kind of flows in to the young adult or adult part since they don't really have a say in that. But now we'll move on to young adults. And for this, I tried to mostly focus on college students since clearly we are all in college. I wanted to cover kind of that age group and their opinions. Um, and to pull in a quote from Qual, he states that young adults in the US have been identified to have low vaccination coverage, and they may be the most hesitant age group for the future COVID-19 vaccine. Um, this is probably due to um, not perceiving COVID as an actual threat. It doesn't, obviously, when a lot of us get it, we don't get very sick. And I've kind of seen people just think that it's fake or that it's not real because it doesn't affect them. Um, College individuals are not often aware of the need to get vaccinated, or they have a bad idea of what the vaccination means, and those kind of bad opinions cause them to become unlikely to get the vaccine. Um, and what's kind of surprising to me and what I found in this research is that a survey was done and it showed that adults who have already had COVID are more likely to not receive the vaccine. And that could possibly be due to maybe they got it and they handled it fine, so they don't think they need one, or they're just worried about the side effects or the potential overplaying of like the potential side effects that you can get from the vaccine. And for the third part, it is late life. So obviously, this is the age group that the pandemic kind of affects the most. They are the highest death rate out of anyone. Um, the late life people were first to be able to get vaccinated, along with frontline workers. And actually, what was kind of shocking to me is that in a study um, that was done Wang discovered that socially, economically disadvantaged elderly group, especially those age 75 plus, had a lower vaccination rate, possibly and obviously due to low income, but also because a lot of elderly were also nervous about the vaccine and the side effects of receiving one, which is kind of shows that there's not actually too much of a difference between late life and regular adulthood in that kind of comparison of different age groups and how they compare to COVID vaccines and just the research question. So, in conclusion, age group has some similarity differences when it comes to 19, but um, mostly the differentiations is with children and the need or not need for them to be vaccinated. And there were more similarities between adults and late life than what I expected. I didn't think, I thought that before I went into this research, that elderly or late life or elderly people would want to get vaccinated to try and alleviate that fear of catching the virus. But I, I guess in through finding this research is that they also are worried about the vaccine and the side effects of that and the potential I guess the unknowns of the if it would work or not, um, and then all the media was going around with how some people had some pretty bad experiences. So that is what my project was, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.